search that fine for you. I do that 3-4 times again, I testify for you. I told I like you, that bitch, I do it all and I'm around, you scared to do it. I'm not, as long as you joking now in for me, I ain't got it. My bitch, skimming, looting, I ain't your body, as long as you.
What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Stormiana, and I am back with another lit video, guys, for you guys tonight. Before we get started into this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and go ahead and check out everything in the description box below so you don't miss a single video, so you don't miss a giveaway, my business. And if you have not followed my business page, go follow my Instagram business page, also in the link below. Okay, guys, so as you can tell by the title of today's video, we are going to be doing our first story time. My lips is a little, okay, my lips a little chapped, but yeah, we're going to be doing our first story time. And as you can tell by the title, this story time is strictly about the night that I got locked up, my first time in jail. This is actually going to get broken up to you guys because, like, this story folds into a whole whirlwind of stories. So I believe every few other videos I drop, I will drop, you know, a continuation of the story time. Or if you guys want part 2 earlier, you know, just comment down below and your girl will spill all the good tea for you, because baby, this finna get hot and it's finna get ghetto real quick. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, so most of you know. If you don't know, I'm gonna let you know right now, I am from Philadelphia. I moved from Philadelphia to Phoenix City, Alabama, November 3rd. I think I got there like November 5th or 6th, but that is when I was supposed to leave. So, like, yeah, November 3rd of 2022 is when I actually moved down to Phoenix City, Alabama. So moved down here. I guess I gotta tell you a story time about us, me and my ex and my children moved down here, but that's another time. So I moved down here November 3rd, 2022, and December 16th of 2022, I got arrested in Phoenix City. I got arrested and I got charged with a felony. Here's a spoiler alert. I got charged with a felony because I took someone else's case as well. I didn't just take my case. See, if it was broken down, I would have gotten charged with a misdemeanor, and so would my ex. We went in Walmart, had a really big altercation, and I got arrested. So what happened was, when I was getting arrested, you know, I asked the officer, the first officer I ran into, he was like, that's what you get for causing trouble and being black on a Friday in Alabama. No lie, this is literally what this guy said to me. He was also black. And I just looked at him, I was like, alright, okay, like, I'm getting arrested. Like, I can't honestly say how I really felt. I was just like more like in a blank space, truth be told. I didn't cry, I didn't do any of that. I didn't flinch. Like, what I did was I asked the second officer I ran into. He was really a nice guy, kind of cute too, white guy, and he was like, are you sure? He was like, because I see from the footage, you know, you weren't the only one causing trouble right now. So I'm like, no, it was all me, it's fine, you know, like, I'm gonna take it regardless. And I took the case for both me and my ex simply because she not built the way I'm built. I have never been to jail before, but from my understanding, jail, not prison, now let's understand that jail is just about the same as a group home. And I have been in a bunch of different group homes. If you guys didn't know, also, new fact about me, I have been in the foster care up until I was an adult. So I'm used to being around a bunch of females. I'm used to the fights, which is what happened, and I'm used to all of that. So, you know, it wasn't an issue. So my first charge, like I said, I did take the case I did take that charge for my ex, because she, like I said, she's not built like me. So it was no way in this world she was ever going to survive jail. Like, she can't fight. I'm the only one she has tried to buck with. I'm the only one she want to run her mouth to. I am literally the only person. I have been in fights because of her, for her, and all of that. So in my mind, I was thinking, like, if she get locked up and she go to jail, she's not gonna make it. She's not gonna survive. I was riding on bigger hope for me that I was gonna make it, and I did, definitely did. So the cop was like, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" So I was like, "Yes." I said, "Can I just give her my phone?" No, I said, "Can I give her the keys?" I said, because he was like, I'm going to arrest both of you. I was like, "No, I'm taking it." So I did that also, not just to protect her, but to protect my children. So if he would have arrested both of us, being as though we didn't have any family, he was like, "You don't got no right to get them. They going into the system." I did not want that. That was not an option. That was in no way, shape, or form going to ever happen. I'm not going to ever have my kids repeat the same life that I have. So what I did, I took that case. Now I did it. It's fine. Like I was the only one causing the trouble inside the Walmart. So I asked him. I was like, he was standing right next to me, and he didn't put me in handcuffs yet. And he was like, I told him, I said, "Can I just give her the keys and give her my wallet and stuff, like she can go." So she got in the car, she put the bags in the car, put the kids in the car, and I gave her the keys, and I was like, "Go." Like, I'm telling her to go. And she was like, "What's going to happen?" I said, "I'm going to jail. Go." And she's like, "No, for real, go." Like, I'm telling her to go because at this point, I'm not sure if he still is okay with me taking the charge, and I'm just not. I don't trust cops, so I definitely don't trust him. And especially as being in the South, like, I really tore that Walmart up, like, in pieces. So that's what happened. And he was like, "Wait, don't go nowhere." And I was only like about 12 to 14 feet from him. I put them on the car. I gave her kids, I gave the kids a kiss, and I just walked back to him. So he's asking me my information and stuff and all this other stuff. He's asking me my address, and I gave him the address that was on my ID because I still hadn't changed my ID from Pennsylvania over to Alabama. So I gave him that address, and then he started asking for her information, and it was all wrong, and he knew that. He was like, "I'm not gonna write it down because that's a felony, lying to me about somebody else's identity." So I'm just like, not really sure about that. Didn't go to law school, don't really care, but either way, he knew that I was not going to tell him the truth because I still didn't trust him. Like, I feel like you're going to go behind my back and you're going to go and arrest her, and my children's going to be in a messed up position, and that's not going to happen. So what happened was I went to jail that night. Got stripped and all that, showered and all that. That honestly wasn't a big issue. Because when you go inside a group home, I've been inside of lockdown facilities, placements. I've been shipped off to different states because of fighting. Like, same thing that always got me in trouble, landed me in jail. So I was sitting there, I'm like, I'm kind of like, I've never been actually stripped all the way naked, but I have been patted down before. So to be like, it honestly didn't feel much different. Like, the whole process, I was very calm the whole way there. Like, he was like, "I gotta put these on you, the cuffs on you," and I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Are you okay? Like, are you fine?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, you just have this look on your face." He was like, "Are you sure you're okay?" And he was like, "Is anything happening at home with her?" He was like, "Because I could tell from the video she was being really aggressive to you." And I was like, "No, it's fine." And I just got in the car, and I was just sitting there, like, I was just texting her, and I was like telling her, like, "I love you, I love the girls, like, it's gonna be fine, I'm okay." And throughout the whole process, I was locked up for a total of 3 months. I got out March 9th, I believe. my court date had got pushed back. I was supposed to get out February 14th. Didn't get to get out then. They didn't put my paperwork in or something, and I had to sit there for a total of 3 months. So for 3 months I was without my kids. I didn't get to see my kids. It was a really hard thing to go through. It was a really tough thing to go through because it's like a couple days through that weekend. I knew I had to sit that weekend because I got locked up on a Friday, so I wasn't going to get to see a judge until Monday. So after that, you know, the whole weekend, like, my ex started, after the weekend was over, like, I called her and I was like, when people go to jail, people get forgotten about. And I asked her, I said, just don't forget about me in here. That's all I asked. Like, I was crying at that point because I was like, just don't forget about me. Kevin Gates once said, once you go to jail, expect your bitch to play a lot of games. And he could never have said it way better. And that's what happened. She played a lot of games, like way too many, and it ended our relationship. Not just any relationship, our marriage. So there's that. Although we are still legally married, we have been split since I came home, or honestly before then, while I was in jail. I found out some things, and in my mind we was over then. So, you know, that whole weekend I was just telling her, like, don't forget about me. Like, just don't forget about me while I'm in here. I feel like I already had a mindset of what was going on. So I get inside the Russell County, is it Russell County? Yeah, the Russell County jail, and it's a big dorm full of a bunch of people, bunch of females. So I walk in, everybody's looking at me and all types of stuff, you know. And then I had a couple older people come over, and they like, here, let me show you how to help set up your bed and stuff. And I was like, okay, you know, like, thank you. And, you know, I kept it cool. It was this one girl that I came into the dorm with, even though she thinks we came into jail together. I fell out with her and a few other people in there, but she was like, we came in here together, and apparently it might be a big thing to them, but I'm not a jailbird, so I really wouldn't know. Like, I didn't come in this world with you. I don't know you. I'm not from your city. You're not even from the city that we are locked up in currently. And I came in this world alone. So, you know, like, when I got in there, like, it was a big dorm. It was phones and stuff, 2 TVs, open shower. That kind of shocked me, and I was just not really sure of how the shower thing went until I realized you gotta put your stuff on a bench. I feel like I handled everything very well. I feel like, me personally, I feel like I was the only one in there who had common sense. We already in jail. Most of y'all are going to prison, and I mean 25 to life. Some of them is in there for weed because they just couldn't stop smoking weed, and I guess their baby got tested for weed, and she had to spend a year there. And I'm just sitting there like, it's a lot going on. Like, you know, they in there, they swapping pills and stuff, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, some of y'all is getting out. Not all of y'all, but some of y'all are actually, like, getting out of here. I just didn't understand the atmosphere, really. From a mother standpoint, from an educated woman standpoint, I couldn't get into everything that was going on in there. Like, swapping pills, I'm sitting here thinking, like, that's another charge. The only thing I did get into was I actually slept with somebody in jail. That's another story time. Now, that is a charge in there. Both of you will be charged for sexual assault because you're not supposed to. So I did that. But other things I just couldn't understand. I'm not judging, but it was more like they didn't care. Like, they didn't care to get caught or to not get caught. And I noticed them keep doing things that could, like, that charge, if, you know, once we would have sat down in front of a judge and were like, you know, this was a consensual thing, we would have had to end up spending 2 weeks in solitary confinement and lockdown, and that would have been ended. And truthfully, I wouldn't have cared. But I noticed, like, they sneaking, people had weed in their wigs, and they was bullied the girl for it and was eating it. And I'm just sitting here like, some of y'all in here because of weed. Like, and I know weed is a very low drug, but I'm just sitting here like, it's almost like nobody had any goals or aspirations to do anything but the same thing that got them in jail when they left. All I kept thinking was, I want to go home to my family. I want to go home to my kids. I'm missing Christmas. I'm missing New Year's. I miss Valentine's Day. I want to go home to my family. I just want my children. I just want to go home to my family. People were in there like, when I get out, I'm a light me a fat blunt. I'm a go dance on the pole. I'm gonna go strip. I'm finna go sell it. I'm just sitting there like, do not nobody want their children? Like, do not nobody like it? That was, I feel like that separated me from just about everybody in the room. And people were like, yeah, I done been to jail multiple times, so that just shut me down right quick. Like, and then when they were like, yeah, I got kids, I've been to jail multiple times. No. Or I move a lot of drugs, all this type of stuff, and I'm just sitting there like, how old your kid? Like, you mean you've been locked up more than half their life? Like, that type of stuff, that's what honestly bothered me. And then it came down to a point where people started being like, oh, she thinks she's better than us and all this other stuff, and it was just like, that's not the case. But it's like, my first goal or my first thought when I wake up in the morning is to be a mom. Like, I feel like that's something besides being a businesswoman that I was made to do, was be a mother, because I body it every single day. So, you know, for other people for me to be around other people who I feel like y'all really deadbeats. Like, I learned my lesson the first time. Like, I missed 3 months out of my kid's life, and I still to this day beat myself up about it. You know, that really hurt me, to be out of their lives, for me to have to lie to them and tell them, mommy's at work. I'm at work, you know, mommy's at work, I'll kiss you goodnight when I come home, all this other stuff. And I'm like, I'm not gonna see you. Like, I missed milestones out of my youngest birthday, my youngest life. I didn't miss her first birthday, thank God. But, you know, it was just like, it was so much going on. So I did get out March 9th. The day I got out, I was released on ROR. I got accepted into the program for this felony that I had, because it was a first offense for first-time felons. Had to pay a $500 entry fee to it, and another $500, so that was $1,000 for the program altogether. I had to pay for the classes. I had to pay other fees and stuff. I think they got me like out of $5,000-$6,000, honestly, not gonna lie to you. So, you know, that was that. And then it was gonna be dismissed, and thankfully April 26th it was dismissed. April 26th of 2024 it was dismissed. It was really the best thing that happened, because when I came home, my wife had left. She had spent up all my tax money that she had filed taxes. She didn't file any of hers, just filed for my kids and filed all my W-2s. And she left. Left the same day. I couldn't get Uber money for her to get back home or anything like that. When I got home, there were no lights on. The water was on, but it was cold, and then the water actually eventually went off. And that's another story time that I'll get deeper into, but I was inside that house like that for 3 months, all the way up until July. So I spent a total of 6 months out of my kid's life. And I got out, and in 2 weeks I had a job. I was working. I went and got another job, and I was saving up for my apartment that I'm in now. And, you know, I feel like that was the toughest. This whole thing was the toughest thing for me. Phone was off. You know, I had begged her, like, can I get $50? And she's like, I don't have it. I'm sitting there like, well, I don't know why I'm begging you for my money. And that was it. You know, one of the really hard things that I remember is just sitting here in there and calling her, and she's complaining about the kids. Journey keep crying. Mila in her mouth. This is that, and like she's just complaining about having them. Oh, I need help. I need this. I need that. Like, I know if it was me on the outside, I would have made a way. I always do. I promise you, I always do. If there's one thing that I can do that a lot of people will say, even strangers when they meet me or when they, notice things about me, they're like, oh, you really know how to get the money in any type of way. And it's the truth, I do. I will always get to a bag. Always, no matter what it is, no matter who disapproves of it, I would have. There was a daycare literally across the road from us. I applied for daycare and I got the kids in before they even came back down to the state. I got them in a daycare, transferred all their stuff. She didn't take them to any doctors, didn't take them to any dentists. It was just like a whole bad situation. Like, baby, Mila got a bald spot in her hair because of her braiding her hair too tight. Journey has a big gash. So yeah, like, that was the hardest part, hearing her complain about them. Really, Journey had a big gash from a hanger that she scratched herself with. So yeah, I did get out. I found a job. I got 2 jobs. And I went back up to go get my family. I saved up. I was in that house. I didn't spend anything. I saved up not only to move them in here. I paid $1,900 to move in here, but I also needed, like, beds and stuff like that, and furniture for them and all that good stuff. And I needed to pay my friend Chris to help me move all this stuff in, and he was the only big help that I had. And my grandma that just passed away, she was my biggest supporter as well. She kept telling me, like, hey, don't come back up to the state, stay down there, do it, finish the program, do it. And unfortunately, she passed away April 11th of 2024, so about a month ago now, and she didn't get to see me close out this case. But I feel like it was her that got it dismissed, because they usually say once it gets filed for dismissal, it takes weeks for it to get to the judge, and then it takes weeks for the judge to actually get and sign it. And it was filed and signed the same day. And I feel like that was really just her helping me out. So I feel like she did see it in a way. So yeah, like I said, guys, I'm gonna elaborate more on this story time. If you guys are wanting me to elaborate on a specific part, comment down below, let me know. Like I said, it really was a hard process for me, but I handled it with a lot of grace. The only thing, I did was, like, I worked and I worked and I worked, and I just, I called my kids every day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I called them. And then when I couldn't call them and I wasn't allowed to call them, I was like, okay. I handled the separation, the breakup with grace, because literally about a month after her leaving, she called me and she was like, oh, I'm pregnant. And I knew what she was going to say when she called me. Just the turn of her voice, I could hear it in her. And I had already knew what was going on while I was in jail, because it started from when I was in jail. So I handled it with grace and humility, I believe. I didn't argue with anybody. I want to fight you. I want to do this. I saved up money to also rent a car, and also pay for gas and all of that, and food up and truck up and back down here to go get my children. I did my best, and I never let that keep me down. I never stopped being a mom. When I came down here, I made sure I had cash to spend on groceries in the house, and I bought a bunch of wipes and diapers for my youngest in advance. I did make it to her first birthday, May 7th of 2022. I got on the flight and I went out there for her birthday. I spent the weekend with them, and I came back, and it broke my heart because my oldest was crying because I had to leave. So, that is my my experience and my rundown right there. let's recap about jail. I mean, it had its ups and downs. It had some funny moments, and it had some bully moments. It had some tragic moments, and then it just automatically had some nasty moments. But like I said, throughout my entire process, the idea of my children kept me going. It wasn't no pills I could trade for a snack for anybody, weed, sneaking, none of that. None of that could actually have ever steered me away from what my goal was. No matter if I was having fun, no matter if I was taking coffee shots, which is literally just coffee and hot water. No sugar, no nothing. It's just straight coffee. Just to keep myself up. I wrote a bunch of songs while I was in there, wrote down ideas of how to get money. I did all of that. When I came out, it was a really hard thing for me to find a job that actually wanted to pay me good money, and a job that would accept me with a pending felony. So, a lot of that interfered with a lot of stuff. But I pushed through it. I pushed through it all. And I'm here now, and I'm in a much better position than I've ever been in my whole life, because I feel like that is something I need to go through, because nothing was actually going to break up me and my ex. Nothing. And that needed to happen, because she was holding me back. Because now I'm just winning in life happily. So, I'm mad that I missed out on that time, and I just, I still, like I said, I still beat myself about that every day. Like, I try to make up for it as much as I can. I try to be there 10 times harder as much as I can now, because I did miss that. And especially for my oldest, because she actually understood. My youngest, she didn't forget me. She was so excited to see me when I went up to Philly on her birthday, and I had to leave. But my oldest understood me coming and me going, and that broke my heart, because I'm like, I'm not leaving you. I'm coming back. Like, I have to go work. I have to finish this. I didn't finish my case until recently, but I knew I had it to make the money that I needed to make, and to save up the money I needed to make to bring them home with me, where they belong, where they are well taken care of, where I don't complain. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, it's these kids again. They're doing something. They're this, and I'm tired. But at the end of the day, I still get up and I do it without a complaint. I don't, oh, nobody's helping me. I didn't do any of that. Like I said, I would have had them in daycare. I would have found a job, and I would have been able to pay all the bills in there. I don't know what she did with my tax money, because she said she bought this and this and this, and all this furniture for the house. When I got in there, there was nothing in there except the crib and this mattress and this spring, the frame that it's on. I got back a few $1,000s, so I'm not honestly sure what happened to it, what she did with it. But I do know she wasn't taking care of my children. I do know every time I did FaceTime her, she was having a new hairstyle and all of that. So I think my hardest thing, honestly, was not only just not being around my children, but being surrounded by mothers who have had multiple opportunities to not come back into that situation. When a CO knows you, and they're familiar with you, your family, your background, like, that just says something. Like, I was just surrounded by trifling women and trifling mothers, and it was just terrible for me, truthfully. Well, that's gonna be the end of this video. Like I said, if there's any part that you want me to elaborate on, if you want me to go into detail, just let me know. I'm not really doing this in a specific order. I'm just gonna tell it as I go, and that's really about it. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications so you don't miss a single video, and don't forget to follow me on all of my social medias listed in the description box below. Don't forget to follow my business page and all of that good stuff. Remember, the launch date is June 14th. So get your coins ready, because it's going to be so many nice stuff to drop. I'm going to give you a rundown on my business really quick. I'm selling stuff that I like. So if you're a girl like me, you're going to love my story. You're going to love the books, the pillows, all that. Ooh, it's too much. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.